everybody!
So a few months ago, we read the first chapter of Twilight to you guys. We've been wanting to do another one of those.
And now's a great time to do it because it's apparently the 10th anniversary of when Twilight was published. In the first chapter, Bella Swan moves from Arizona to Forks, Washington in the Pacific Northwest that she really doesn't like, so we're still not sure as to why she would actually want to live there. She meets some people, and especially the Cullens.
Alright, so let's get started. Chapter 2. Open book. The next day was better, and worse. It was miserable because I had to play volleyball, and the one time I didn't cringe out of the way of the ball, I hit my teammate in the head with it. It sucks. And it was worse because Edward Cullen wasn't in school at all. All morning I was dreading lunch, fearing his bizarre glares. Mike, who was taking on the qualities of a golden retriever, walked faithfully by my side to class. Last night I discovered that Charlie couldn't cook much besides fried eggs and bacon, so I requested that I be assigned kitchen detail for the duration of my stay.
I saw the two Cullens and the Hill twins. Now that I looked, it was obvious that they were all dressed exceptionally well. Simply, but in clothes that subtly hinted at designer origins. How do you know that without looking at the tag? Do we just not know enough about designer clothes?
I don't know, because there's a sweater that Blaine wears in the Glee Christmas special that is apparently a designer sweater, and it's like $500, and it don't look like a designer. I don't know.
Check my email for the first time. I had 3 messages. Bella, my mom wrote, write me as soon as you get in. Tell me how your flight was. Is it raining? I miss you already, but I can't find my pink blouse. Do you know where I put it? I sighed and went to the next. It was sent 8 hours after the first. Bella, she wrote, why haven't you emailed me yet? What are you waiting for? Mom.
Sounds like your mom.
No, my mother calls me like a normal person. Isabella, if I haven't heard from you by 5:30 p.m. today, I'm calling Charlie. What is Charlie gonna do? He's gonna be like, Bella. Mom, calm down. I'm writing you now. Don't do anything rash, Bella.
Don't do anything rash like call your ex-husband, the father of your child. Your blouse is at the dry cleaners. You were supposed to pick it up Friday. It's sad that her teenage daughter is taking care of her. I had decided to read Wuthering Heights, the novel we were currently studying in English yet again for the fun of it.
You don't read Wuthering Heights for fun. That's not a thing.
Why would you read it for fun?
You don't. That's not an option.
Bella? My father called out when he heard me on the stairs. What's for dinner? He asked warily. My mother was an imaginative cook and her experiments weren't always edible. I love this trope. No, it's sexist if the mom is a good cook, so she has to be experimental. We just have somebody that cooks like normal. Cooks okay. I'm so sick of that trope.
Do you know the Cullen family? I asked hesitantly. Dr. Cullen's family? Sure, Dr. Cullen's a great man. They don't seem to fit in very well at school. Dr. Cullen is a brilliant surgeon who could probably work in any hospital in the world, make 10 times the salary he gets here, he continued, getting louder. We're lucky to have him. He's an asset to the community and all of those kids are well behaved and polite. I had my doubts when they first moved in with all those adopted teenagers. Teenagers! They seem nice enough to me. I just noticed they keep to themselves. They're all very attractive, I said. You should see the doctor, Charlie said, laughing. It's a good thing he's happily married. Is Charlie insinuating that he would date Dr. Cullen?
When we walked out of class, the air was full of swirling bits of white. You could say snow. Wow, it's snowing, Mike said. Ew, snow. There went my good day. What? I glanced toward that table in the corner out of habit, and then I froze where I stood. There were 5 people at the table.
Froze, because there's snow. Froze. Let it go!
No! Jessica pulled on my arm. Hello, Bella, what do you want? That's a weird question. Not, what are you looking at? What do you want? Come on.
Jessica's impatience is one of my favorite things in this book.
What's with Bella? Mike asked Jessica. Bella's right there, Mike. You can ask her yourself.
I kept my head down and glanced up under my lashes. And people don't glance under their lashes,
I feel like we've talked about this before. This sounds familiar.
I think it happens in the first chapter. Writers, don't do the thing. I pondered, staring, trying to isolate the change. She went from looking up under her eyelashes, which isn't possible, to just full-on staring. Bella, what are you staring at? Finally, the right question, Jessica! Edward Cullen is staring at you, Jessica giggled in my ear. Edward Cullen is staring at you! Stop looking at him, I hissed. She snickered, but she looked away. I raised my head enough to make sure that she did, contemplating violence if she resisted. Bella.
Hello, said a quiet musical voice. I've always wondered what it sounds like when you have a musical voice. Hello! Does he sing
what's
it?
the line from Book of Mormon?
Hello, my name is Elder Price, and I would like to share with you the most amazing book. His hair was dripping wet, disheveled. Oh, sure, she knows the word wet. Good. Okay. My name is Edward Cullen. His fingers were ice cold, like he'd been holding them in a snowdrift before glass, which he probably was, because he was throwing snowballs!
Everybody was throwing snowballs except for Bella!
When he touched me, it stung my hand as if an electric current had passed through us. Static electricity, it's not that big of a deal.
You know, maybe he's wearing moccasins with like fur on the inside, and then he has on like those fuzzy socks. So every time he walks, he like creates
Or
static
maybe vampires
electricity.
are electric!
You know.
My face is so easy to read. My mother always calls me her open book. On the contrary, I find you very difficult to read. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Foreshadowing. When the bell finally rang, Edward rushed as swiftly and as gracefully from the room as he had last Monday. Mike skipped quickly to my side and picked up my books for me. I imagined him wagging his tail. It's better to just put him down right there. Just shut it down.
Add something else to the dog metaphor.
Yeah.
The ongoing dog metaphor.
That was so mean. My wool gathering was only interrupted when it was my turn to serve. What
does that
wool
mean?
gathering? What is she?
She knitting a sweater?
I stared straight ahead as I passed the Volvo, but from a peripheral peek, I swear I saw him laughing. So that's the end of the second chapter. We had our first, actually, like, civil interaction between Bella and Edward.
Snow. Bella hates snow. Because what?
Bella also hates dogs, because what?
She likes dogs eventually.
Emmett is a dog, Mike is a dog, Eric plays chess. Her parents both seem to be unable to rely on themselves for a lot of things. Renee is flaky and can't remember her shirt is at the dryers. And Charlie only knows how to cook one dish.
The adults in this book are incompetent so far.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like a Disney Channel show. Alright, so thanks for joining us. And that secret project we've been hitting at, you're gonna get a lot more information about it next Wednesday. So be on the lookout.
I'm excited.
Yes, we are. See you next week, everybody.
The whole 3 books, they're like, look at those werewolves. And then at the end of the 4th one, she's like, oh, they're not
really werewolves.
They're shifters. It's just so pretentious. No, they're goddamn werewolves. You called them werewolves for 3 books. I lost trust in you a long time ago.